Hey, it's your pal Chris Davison from LWC Fit, coming to you live here on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, to answer some questions about intermittent fasting that you guys sent to me. So, let's jump right in. Number one, what can I drink while I'm fasting? Water, and you should be drinking a lot of it, at least 2 liters a day. You might be peeing a lot to start off with, so you get used to it, but you got to keep yourself hydrated, and that'll actually help keep you full and keep you satiated, kind of help curb some hunger. But you can also drink coffee, tea, bone broth is another good one. Let's see, yeah, and just as long as you don't have calories and 0 calories, you can have it. So all of that fun stuff. So obviously 0 calories means no sugar, nothing that's going to spike your insulin levels, get your metabolism going. All right, number 2. What kind of foods can I eat when I'm in intermittent fasting? Well, when you're intermittent fasting, you're not eating. That's the whole thing, is you're fasting. So now, if you're talking about what kind of foods can you have, oh yeah, you just asked I see there's another part of the question. You asked if you could have a donut. You can have a donut when you finish your fasting levels. This is not it's not a diet per se. It's not an actual diet regimen. It's a tool more than anything. So it's just a tool. So you eat after you fast. Okay? Number 3, does intermittent fasting make you younger? Yeah, kind of. It can kind of slow the process. So there's been some research that has showed that fasting that it triggers a molecule that can delay the aging process. So it doesn't stop, it doesn't make you younger, but it can slow the aging process, to help prevent like age-related diseases such as cancer, things of that nature. Cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's, actually, that's a big one, because this is actually, well, we'll get to this in a second, because someone's asking a question about your brain here, this next question. And it can actually help prevent Alzheimer's. There's studies that have shown that. So, number 4, I read that fasting is great for the brain. How so? So here's connected to the other question. So, the brain and body actually kind of performs better during fasting, right? So, trying to think how to explain this. So, it can increase your cognitive functions, your learning, memory, alertness. Let's use this for an example. So look at wolves, like in packs that are hunting, right? They've gone for weeks. Say they've gone for weeks and they haven't eaten, so they haven't had their glucose in their body's been completely depleted. So they're running basically off of ketones, which is fueling their energy. So they're living off of the fat in their body. So when they're hunting, and they're one of the best hunters out there, their cognitive functions are spot on. They are alert, they are in tune, they are focused, and it's kind of the same thing with us. It can make us much more focused. So, yeah, it's great for the brain. It's not just for fasting, but fasting exercise can stimulate the production of a nerve cell called BDNF. And it's a protein that plays critical roles in learning, memory. It's the generation of new nerve cells that can make certain neurons more resistant to stress, actually, so it can help actually reduce stress a little bit as well. But yeah, it's fantastic for the brain. Fantastic for the brain. Number 5. I'm having some heart issues. Should I look into intermittent fasting? Well, first of all, I would listen to whatever your doctor says. I am not a doctor. Now, anything that you do that's going to, better your overall health and your heart health and your cardiovascular health is going to help your heart. So eating better, exercising is all going to help. But again, you need to listen to what your doctor's saying and follow what he says. But I mean, intermittent fasting, it can help your body metabolize cholesterol and sugar. It can decrease your LDL, the bad cholesterol. So it can reduce your risk of gaining weight, developing diabetes, and these are both risk factors for heart disease. So in that sense, yes, it can help with your heart, but you need to, again, follow your doctor's instructions. I have horrible inflammation in my joints. Would this work for me and help? There's a lot of studies that have shown that fasting has helped decrease levels of inflammation. So diet changes is going to be a big thing. The biggest thing is finding out what's causing the inflammation in your body. Everyone is going to have a lot of different times. Different times going to have different responses to different foods. So, for example, carbs. Refined carbs, refined grains, they can spike blood glucose, which has been shown to increase inflammation in the joints or in the body in general. I myself suffer from inflammation from refined carbs. So it doesn't mean I don't have them, but I have them in moderation. So my dog's getting water over there. Another thing, let's see, I'm trying to think here. People, gluten sensitivities. You might want to get checked with that, or just go ahead and just cut gluten out of your diet. That might actually make a big difference for you as well. The biggest thing for me when I found out what was causing a lot of the inflammation in my body is I cut out almost everything. Dairy, carbs, all the fun stuff. Sugar was a big thing for me. And by doing that, I ended up slowly, like for a week or two, I cut out and went just very, very basic. I was just having, greens, meat, things I knew that I was okay to have. And then I was slowly start incorporating the other foods back in until I found out what was actually affecting me. I love dairy, and I have a lot of clients that love dairy, and it doesn't affect them whatsoever. Me, it actually caused a lot of inflammation for me, but I still love it. Dairy's awesome. But again, you just have to find, it's a trial and error. You have to find out what works for you. Now you can start cooking with some other spices that might help. Like I like to put some turmeric and also cinnamon in my coffee. They have some huge anti-inflammatory properties that can help you a lot. And I think that's pretty much it. But again, it's gonna be trial and error. You need to first of all find out what's in your diet that's causing these inflammatory responses. But yes, fasting can help decrease inflammation. But again, check your diet. All right, number 7. Can I drink alcohol while fasting? No, you cannot drink alcohol while fasting. Alcohol has calories. While you're fasting, you can have no calories. After your fasting window is over, do whatever you want. All right, number 9. Can I wear a purple dinosaur outfit while I fast? Sure, go for it. If you do, take a photo, send it to me. I'll post it. All right, number 10. I've been intermittent fasting for a while. How do I get my husband to do it with me? He refuses and says I'm just trying to starve him to death. Are you trying to starve him to death? Is that really what's happening? So, okay. Well, who cooks in the house? Do you cook? If you're the one that cooks, if you're the one that shops for groceries and you bring all the stuff in, don't bring anything in that you know he's gonna eat. If you're cooking, tell him he's gonna have to wait till you cook. So you're forcing him to, especially right now during quarantine. So, but no, I'm just kidding. Actually, you can't force someone to do something they're not ready for. That is a big thing. You cannot force someone to do something that you're not ready for. If you do, you're just going to create resentment and can cause a lot of issues with your relationship. So just keep doing what you're doing. When he starts seeing the advancements that you're making, all the progress you're making, then you never know, he might join right in. Will intermittent fasting help me burn fat? Yes, it absolutely will. I actually talked about that in the video that I posted a couple of days ago. Go back and watch that. You'll see the different levels and different stages of fasting and what it does for your body when getting into the fat burning stages and things of that nature. But remember, you're going to have to make sure you're staying at or below your caloric maintenance levels. Make sure you're hitting your macros, which is just a different way of saying you're getting all your nutrients, your main nutrients, in your fats, your carbs, your proteins. If you're not getting all the correct numbers, correct levels of your macros, and it can throw your hormones off. It can actually just your body can start holding on to all the weight and not letting anything burn through. So all the fat is just kind of going to stick around. If you actually have more questions about that, hit me up, send me a private message, and we can talk about that. Number 12, or is it number 13? I think this is off, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, number 12, will intermittent fasting grow my hair back? No, it will not grow your hair back. If you are bald, you are going to remain bald. Unless they come up with a cure, or you can get that little tattoo thing that kind of outlines your hair, whatever, makes it like you have a 5 o'clock shadow on your head, or you get a wig, or you just Vin Diesel it, or Dwayne Johnson it, and or who else is a cool guy that has bald hair? Bruce Willis it. Ooh, there you go. He's a cool guy. Die Hard. Anyway, that is all the questions. If you have any other questions, anything you want me to cover or go over, send me a message, and I will be glad to come on here and talk about it. Because, let's face it, I just like to talk. Have a good night.